Hello friends, this is Vatsalya Bharadwaj. I am a chartered accountant by profession. In this video, I am going to discuss the reverse charge mechanism under GST. This is a small effort to make you understand what the law says regarding reverse charge, the few sections regarding reverse charge mechanism under the CGST Act and the relevant notifications related to that. In the end of the session, we are going to discuss a practical example and I will be needing your feedback and answers regarding that particular issue. So let's get started. Now first understand what basically reverse charge is. Reverse charge is explained under section 2 subsection 98 of the CGST Act, which reads as follows. Reverse charge means the liability to pay tax by the recipient of supply of goods or services or both instead of the supplier of such goods and services or both. Under subsection 3 or subsection 4 of section 9 or under subsection 3 or subsection 4 of section 5 of IGST Act. Now what does this mean? Basically, under reverse charge, liability to pay taxes shifts from the supplier to the recipient. Now let's understand under a easy language. Let's say for example, we go to a hotel, we have our food and we pay the bills. Now this bill amount is inclusive of taxes. It is inclusive of CGST and SGST. We are paying the taxes and to the supplier, and the supplier is further paying the taxes to the government. As recipient, when we are going to the hotel and taking the services, we are nowhere liable to deposit such taxes to the government. This is known as forward charge mechanism. Reverse charge is somewhat opposite. In this, the recipient of the goods or services is liable to pay the taxes to the government. We can have an example. Let's say for example, we take services from an advocate and we are a business entity having turnover greater than 20 lakh rupees. Now we as a business entity are liable under reverse charge to pay the taxes. This is what reverse charge is. I hope the basic meaning of the reverse charge is clear to you now. Now we are going to read the sections of reverse charge under the GST Act. Reading law is an art in itself. We need to focus while we are reading. Each and every comma, semicolon, full stop is very important when we are reading the law. So be careful while reading it. Now let's focus and read the law. Section 9 subsection 3 of the CGST Act states that the government may, on the recommendations of the council, by notification, specify categories of supply of goods or services or both, the tax on which shall be paid on reverse charge basis by the recipient of such goods or services or both. And all the provisions of this act shall apply to such recipient as if he is the person liable for paying the tax in relation to the supply of such goods or services or both. Now basically this section states that the government on the recommendation of the council is going to notify certain list of services which will be liable under reverse charge mechanism. That means under this kind of services, if a supplier is providing such kind of service, for example, let's say GTA service, then the recipient of such service will be liable to pay tax under reverse charge. Now, where are these list of services given? Under notification number 4/2017 and notification number 13/2017 of Central Tax Act, list out certain services which are covered under reverse charge. Under this, recipient is liable to pay the tax under reverse charge, which is under 100% reverse charge. There is no like 50% under which supplier is going to pay 50%, recipient is going to pay 50%, as it was before in the service tax under various reverse charges. But this sort of thing is not in GST now. Now there is one more section followed by section 9 subsection 3, that is section 9 subsection 4 of the CGST Act, which also talks about reverse charge. Now let's read what it says. The central tax in respect of the supply of taxable goods and services or both by a supplier who is not registered, comma, to a registered person shall be paid by such person on reverse charge basis as the recipient, and all the provisions of this act shall apply to such recipient as if he is the person liable for paying the tax in relation to the supply of such goods or services or both. Now what does this mean? This basically means if a person who is registered under GST Act, let's say he is taking services or goods from a person who is not registered, in such cases the person who is taking the services and the one who is registered under GST is liable to pay taxes under reverse charge basis. Now let's understand with the help of a simple example. For example, there is a company who is registered under GST and the company is taking stationery material from a person who is not registered. Now the company obviously will be booking this expenses in the profit and loss account. Now, due to the fact that the registered person, that is the company, is taking goods, say pen, pencil, whatever, from an unregistered dealer, in this case, the company is liable to pay taxes under reverse charge. Now, there is one more catch over here. Not only the company is going to pay the taxes, the company is also bounded to issue invoice in this case. Now, where this thing is written? This thing is basically written in section 31 subsection 3 clause F of CGST Act, which basically states that a registered person who is liable to pay tax under subsection 3 or subsection 4 of section 9, which we just read, shall issue an invoice in respect of goods or services or both received by him from the supplier who is not registered on the date of receipt of goods or services or both. So what does this mean? This basically means that a person who is receiving services from unregistered person under section 9 subsection 3 or section 9 subsection 4 of the GST Act is liable to issue invoice as well. But under this section there is one relief given by the government under notification number 8/2017 of central tax rate dated 28 June 2017, which basically states that if a registered person is taking goods or services from an unregistered person and the total aggregate value of such supplies in a day does not exceed 5,000 rupees, then such registered person is exempt from paying any of the taxes. Now let's take an example of this. For example, there are certain sort of, we are a company for example, and there are certain small expenses, for example, repair, maintenance, stationery, printing, etc. So accumulated expense in a day from all such suppliers, if does not exceed 5,000, then as a company I am not liable to pay CGST as GST. But in case this expense exceeds 5,000 rupees, let's say even 5,100 as well, then tax will be calculated on 5,100 as a whole. Then whole 5,100 will be taxable. It won't be like this. For example, if I am the aggregate value of supplies in particular day which I am receiving is 5,000, then it is exempt, and if it goes to 5,100, then 5,000 is exempt and 100 is chargeable to tax. This is not the case. If we exceed 5,000, then whole amount of expense which we are undertaking will be liable to tax under reverse charge. So in nutshell, if we talk, we basically studied two major sections. There is section 9 subsection 3 and section 9 subsection 4, and few notifications relating to that. So if we talk in a summary, section 9 subsection 3, under this section there are certain services notified by the government which are under reverse charge, and under section 9 subsection 4, those persons who are liable under reverse charge, who are registered under GST and who are taking goods or services from unregistered person. Now there is one more notification, which is notification number 5/2017 of Central Tax, which hereby exempts the persons from registration who are only engaged in making supplies of taxable goods or services or both, comma, the total tax on which is liable to be paid on reverse charge basis by the recipient of such goods or services or both under subsection 3 of section 9 of the said act. Now let's understand what does this mean. Now for example, let's say there is an advocate firm who is only providing legal services to the business entities. Now all the services, basically there is only one service which they are providing, that is the legal services, legal consultancy services to the business entities. And there is one more thing over here, that all these business entities are having turnover greater than 20 lakh rupees. Now all the supplies of this advocate firm is under reverse charge due to the notification related to section 9 subsection 3. So this advocate firm is now not liable for registration under GST Act due to this notification, that is notification number 5/2017 of Central Tax. So in totality we have studied two basic sections of reverse charge and few notifications relating to that. Now I have a task for you guys. I believe you must be listening to me very carefully. Now let's do a brief discussion. I leave an open question to all of you. I need your views on the same, and I will be also giving my views in my next video. Let's make a situation. For example, there is one educational institution. We all know education services by an educational institution is exempt under GST. And there is an advocate firm as well, which says I am providing only services relating to reverse charge, so I am not liable to get registered under GST. And this educational institution also says that my services are also exempt and I am also not liable to get registered under GST. Now let's say this advocate firm is providing services to this educational institution. My open question to all of you is that, is educational institution liable to pay taxes under reverse charge mechanism? Or can they both take a plea that since we both are unregistered, so we are not liable to pay any taxes? I need an answer for this from your end as well. Please wait for my next video in which I will be sharing my views under this particular example. This way it will be like one-on-one learning process from both the ends. This is Vatsalya Bharadwaj signing off. Keep liking my video and subscribe to my channel. Thank you very much.